I am 100% certain that I played that all wrong. But you got the gist of it. Ted Nugent, Cat Scratch Fever. That's tonight's tone tutorial. I say tonight, but you could be watching this anytime. Despite what you may think of Uncle Teddy and his politics and his personality, the man was and still is a heck of a guitar player. He's no virtuoso, but he's a heck of a guitar player and a great showman. So nobody requested this, but it's been kind of a busy week. And I kind of had to dig one out of my back pocket here that I was kind of already working on, playing with for a while. And Cat Scratch Fever it is, because it's an easy song to play and it's a bunch of fun. And if you ever caught Pantera's cover of it, excellent cover. So without any further ado, me talking on and on, let's get into it. Right up here, we are going to go to our panel, and we're going to look at our chain. We're going to put it on chain 2, just because we're going to have a compressor in here. So we don't need anything after the mod. And if you watched my video the other day on the effects chain and chain order and all that good stuff, check that one out. That's a good little education piece on learning about the effects loop and the chains and all that good stuff and pedal order. All right, back to it. We're going to go on chain 2 for this one, and we're going to use a crunch amp, and we don't want too crunchy. So we're going to dial it back to about 36. Bump up our volume so you can hear what I'm doing here. You're going to have to adjust that on your own amp. I know I say that every time. No variation. And the system setting we're using, well, you can't see it right there. We're using the regular record airfield line out for this because I don't want to run it through this because it'll sound different on yours. And we've got no tone shape or contour going on here, but we do have a little bit of bass. We're just bumping it up to about 64, keeping the mids about the same, around 62, 63, and our highs are at about 71. Just kind of kicking everything up just a little bit. We're going to be on vintage amp, and our presence is going to be about 66. That's where I usually like it, about 1:32 o'clock on there. And there we have our panel set. Moving on over to the boost, we're going to go for a governor. We're going to go for the Governor DS just to take that crunchy amp and make it even crunchier, a little gnarliness to it. And we got our drive right around 35. That's going to be a good one. Let's hear what we're sounding like before we turn that boost. Not too shabby. Let's finish our settings here first. I'm going to bump that tone up to about 6, give it a little treble there, and a little on the bottom end. And we're going to bump that effects level up to 50 just to give it some meat with the potatoes. Now let's hear it boosted. Sounding a lot better. Next up, we're going for a mod. Now, I'm just using a light compressor, and just to kind of hold everything together and level things out, we're going to hit that sustain. We're going to put everything right at noon. Right at 5, but we're going to give it a little more tone on that one. Well, about 13, 14 on the tone. And the level's at 50, so attack and sustain at 50, level at 50, tone at 14. And that's it. That's it for our mod. We don't have any effects, but we do have a very simple spring reverb going on here. And I've got the reverb time down to 1.2, and then 43 milliseconds on the pre-delay. And then on my patch, this was at like 200, and then like 6.3. And the only reason it's like that is because those were the settings when I pulled it up. There's no rhyme or reason I have these at 200 or 6.3. But the density I left at 5, and the color it was at like 47. And I just left it right at that because it sounded good. And our effects level, we didn't want too much on it, so I got it at about 21. So we got all our effects going on. Now we got to move on to our parametric EQ. But let's turn on our noise suppressor. And I got the release down to about 13. It doesn't have to be too loud because it's not a whole lot of gain going on here. So I got it at 13. And I have the threshold right up at 48, just so it holds it off enough when I'm not playing. Today I'm playing this cool little budget guitar, this Kramer Pacer. And it's got a cheap Fleor rail. I think this is an $18 pickup. I might have said this in another one. Maybe not. It's got an $18 rail pickup in there in the bridge, and it's fantastic. This is a cool little guitar. Stays in tune with this dreaded Floyd Rose Special. And I really dig it. I got it for my birthday. I use that excuse. I just got it. Because. Going back over to our EQ. Now, I do have a parametric EQ. My typical parametric EQ where I'm bumped up to 7 decibels on the low, -2 on the low mid, and my low cut is at 40. Low mid is at 250. But these ones I normally have a little higher, 4 and 5, but I kept them pretty low this time around, about +3 all the way across. And I have this at 5, but you could probably pull it back to 4. And this one at 1.6. Let's hear how it sounds at 4. We're supposed to be amp out, by the way. That sounds much better. But if you bump it up to 5, you can hear the difference. Either way, but that works. So we got our parametric EQ set, and we're all set and ready to rock. So in summary, all the way back at the beginning, we got our chain at 2, we got our amp on crunch, gain at 36, volume you have to adjust it yourself. Then we got the Governor DS for the boost, set at 35 on the drive, +6 on the tone, 11 on the bottom, and our effects level at 50. We've got a light compressor going on in the mod, 50 sustain, 50 attack, 14 on the tone, and 50 on the level. Then we don't have any effects or delays. You could add a delay in there. I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. We can try. I don't think let's add just a simple analog delay in there. Let's hear it without. See if we can even tell a difference. Add the analog delay in there. We'll just leave the settings just like they are. Ooh, that's a lot of delay. Let's pipe it down a little bit. It might be a bit much. Oh, what happened to the delay time? I must have bumped that by accident. No wonder it's so high. That actually sounds good with that little bit back there. But yeah, you can add some delay in there if you wanted to. I don't have the delay in the patch, so if you download the patch, you're not going to see any delay in it. But you can add it in there if you want. Our reverb, we got a simple spring. We got it set kind of low on the time and a little low on the pre-delay. And the density, color, effects, all very moderate. And you know my EQ. So that is it. Let's play through it one more time, see if I can't really screw it up. that's going to wrap it up. In a couple weeks, I'll come back with maybe somebody requested, but it's with spring cleaning and everything. It's been kind of busy, so I had to kind of throw something together, and I hope you enjoyed it. And it's a fun song to play, so give it a shot. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.